know that said sprints, but it's fine. It's the same thing. Also, she was staring at the screen the whole time because I'm on the screen. Like in that picture, she was like,
Mhm.
"Is that my
She
mom?"
was like, how are you there? That's so wild.
That baby. Yes, we're joined by Eloise for the chat. Anyway,
Our special co-host. I mean, you should be familiar with her. She will be here, you know.
channel a lot. But yeah, this is our first Tortured Readers Book Club chat. Yay! For When the Moon Hatched.
It's so weird because it feels like we've been doing the book club forever, but also not forever.
I know. I'm very excited though, and I'm so glad, at least from what I've seen in the Discord, that almost everyone that stuck through with this absolutely loved it. So
I think so too, yeah.
yeah, if you're in the chat, let us know what you rated it. Drop your rating. And if you've read it, I guess, I don't know, put like, I'm assuming if you came to this chat that you read it, but maybe not, who knows. If you did, let us know, because there is going to be spoiler and non-spoiler sections. So if you want to stick up until the spoiler section, then you can pop off. I'll have like a banner to say that. Yeah. But anyway, do either of us want to try to explain what this was about? I'm like,
It's so funny because when you first read it, it doesn't go the way I expect it to, if that makes sense. I feel like the first couple chapters makes it seem like you're going to set up for something else.
Yeah.
And then it like completely goes off the rails. So I don't know. There's a girl and she makes choices that takes her life in certain directions. And then she discovers things about herself she didn't even know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's not much better. I'm like, she's like paid to hire an assassin, right? And then all of a sudden she's like a prisoner, and then it just goes from there.
I can't even wait to get into those discussions because all in all, Rave as a character, loved her.
Yeah, she's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. But I guess, hold on, before we say what our ratings were and whatnot, let me just see who's in the chat. Your romantic books are amazing. Oh, thanks. Still struggling with, but we have one for you, don't we? Isn't that next month? Is it?
Oh, yeah. In this book, in Heir of Sun and Moon, there is a bodyguard. He is her guard. Yes.
That's what I'm using for our fantasy bingo.
Yeah.
For every romantasy, I needed a bodyguard romance, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Katie said.
Yeah.
So,
he's the guard for her. That is one of the tropes. Yes.
Okay, well then there you go. You can read our book club with us, and you have a bodyguard rec. Nice. Hello, Beatrice. Quite excited to know your opinions. Although I have not read the whole book, I'll still be here. I don't mind. Honestly, you probably won't even remember. I mean, you might actually for some of these, but maybe not all of them, because this book is very intense. I know I was on Beatrice's live show earlier, and she mentioned she wanted to read it, but she didn't have the physical in front of her, and she was like, I'm going to get lost. And I said, yeah. You read it all audio?
I did it. I had the Kindle, and then I did both. I did the audio with my Kindle.
Okay. I was going to say, I hope you didn't just audio it, because I could not.
I could never.
Hello, Sarah. So ready to talk about this book. I gotta say, if Sarah and there was another girl in the chat, was it Katie or not you? Another. Well, I mean you too, but like Sarah and this one other person, if they didn't explain the whole thing to me, I'd have been lost. I needed.
There were definitely bits and pieces that I still even right now feel like went over my head, and that's why a reread will be great. But yeah.
So. I read it, and I'm still not 100 on the whole Dragon Moon thing. Is anyone?
I mean, hopefully Sarah is. Hopefully. Sarah Parker.
This is a big reason that a couple of booktubers that I've seen didn't really like the book is because they said that, like, she would elaborate about, like, trivial things, and then on things of, like, really big importance, she didn't. And I guess I could see that for some things, but I don't know. I was just obsessed, so it didn't really bother me.
Yeah, sometimes things like that are nitpicky for some people, and sometimes it's like, it's minuscule.
Yeah. Good morning to Luna, 4 a.m.
Thanks for being here.
5 stars, infinity stars, but 5 for Goodreads and Storygraph. It's honestly so hard to sum up everything that happens in this book in a few short words.
Especially like with no spoilers. Like trying to explain it to somebody who hasn't read it and recommend it. I'm just going to be like, you need to read it. I don't know how to read it.
Yeah. Hello, Lynn. Hello. Oh, yes, this Katie.
Oh, I should have known. My bad.
To hear your thoughts on it. And then, yes, I needed you, Sarah. So, yeah, do we want to go through our ratings then?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I'm more of the want person, but I'm gonna rate it, I think, 4.5. And the only reason why is because of the fact that I still don't understand everything.
Okay.
Because I do feel like in order to fully immerse yourself in the story, in my opinion, I needed just a little bit more elaboration. And I kind of felt like the plot at times went everywhere.
Yeah.
And I needed it to be a little bit more concise. And like there were some plot points, so it's like, and no spoilers, I guess, right? But like we went to certain things and met certain people, but then I don't know why. Just like in the beginning with the necklace and the woman who like controls her, what happened to that? Where did that go? So like I'm just confused on those parts where I was like, I want it to be a 5 for vibes, but I need a little bit more.
I totally get that. That's fair. And I mean, 4.5 is still a great rating. So that's still really good.
I still love it, and I still need the next book like right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I gave it 5. It's my favorite book of the year. I'm very much obsessed with the book. I will say, do I understand everything about it? Either no, and so I probably should have knocked it down. But honestly, I was just living my best life with this book.
Well, go with your gut. If your gut says 5, then boom, done.
I just loved it, plus all the quotes, and I just loved Con. Not Con. Yeah, Con. I keep getting Kel and Con confused because I'm reading 2 books with
Yes.
Con. Con is my favorite, and also the dragons. And
all the stars for Khan. Are you kidding me? I would lay my life down for that man immediately.
Like, there are so many. Most of these pink tabs are Con moments, like, because they're love, like my favorite love, like moments, and most of them are either quotes or it's Con just being a wonderful human man person. I'm just obsessed.
How do we get one? Like, I love fantasy men.
Yes, I very much loved this. But anyway, yeah, that was my rating because I just loved it. Let me see. Oh, Summer Spangled Shivers. I will say that at one point I was like, how many times are we going to talk about this? I feel like it's in the book a lot. But that's fine. Sadly, this book was a miss. I gave it 2 stars. That's okay.
Yeah.
Lexi, you like came in at the last minute and read it all. Gave it 3 stars. That's fine. 3 is fine. I think that's fine. That's very fair. I was leaning towards a 4.5, but I have 5 purely based on vibes. Yeah, it is.
We support it.
I can explain the necklace thing a little later when we hit spoilers. Yes, do that.
Perfect.
Do it for us. Yeah, no, I feel like in the Discord I saw most people say it was either like a 4 or a 5, or they DNF'd like 30 pages and above, which is fine because I feel like if you're not vibing with it by then, like the writing, then you're not gonna vibe with it the rest of the way. Because I will say, like, yeah, this is very lyrical / just. I mean, it feels very epic fantasy to me.
In certain aspects, it very much is. I think that's why so many of us are confused, to be honest.
Yeah, because I think I was like expecting a romantasy, and like while it was also very heavy epic fantasy, and I just don't think it was necessarily marketed in the correct way because I don't know if I was as prepared for that, but I
knew as soon as I opened the book and there was a glossary and a, like all that stuff, I knew immediately. I was like, oh, I should take notes.
Yeah, I saw that and I like started to read it first and I was like, no, you should just read it whenever you encounter one of these words and you're like, what the hell is that? And so I would stop and then like later on, even then, like there'd be a character that hadn't been in the book for like 300 pages and then they say a name and I'm like, well, who's that? And then I go and I'm like, oh, I already met them. Damn. Like there's one thing in specific, like we'll talk about in spoilers later, that when someone said it in the Discord, I was like, wait, who is this person? And I'm like, how did you forget this person?
To be fair, I think we kind of also set ourselves up for failure, you and me, because we juggle so many books that are very similar. And so then it's very easy to get confused.
Yeah.
And to be like, wait a minute, what did I read? I forgot this. What character am I talking about? Who? So.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Let me see. 4-star would be 4.5 if I knew more. Rave is raw and dark. Han is goals. Yes. I rated it 5 stars. I loved it. Absolutely obsessed with it. Oh, yay! Favorite book of the year. Just like me. Love them. I wish the things in the glossary would have been explained a bit more in the actual story. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't with characters that haven't shown up in hundreds of pages. Exactly. I feel this. 4 stars. Kept forgetting to check chapter headings to know whose chapter it was and would need to go back. I thought it was all going to be just Rave. And then we got like a Con chapter and I was so excited. And then it took forever before we got another Con chapter. And then we got other chapters that I'm not going to say until we do spoilers. But I was just like, oh, okay. So That was exciting.
I did like the character, though, the additional character we got. I did like that.
Yeah, I really did like that. It's my favorite book I have ever read.
What a compliment. Rainy, look at you go.
I know. So
oh my gosh.
That's very exciting. Okay, so we'll bump into a little bit non-spoilery as much as we can. And I guess say like first impressions / like, I don't know, whatever we can say that's non-spoilery. But we're getting close to being at spoilers. So I guess, did you have first impressions? What were we thinking?
Absolutely. So my first impressions were, one, didn't understand the dragons. Those are first impressions. I was immediately like, there's a lot of dragons. Okay. I still don't, like we've talked about before, still don't understand about the moon situation, but that's fine. Rave, immediately I liked her. Immediately I liked that she was snarky. She gave me a lot of like Throne of Glass vibes, in my opinion. So like honestly, I was invested in the beginning. I thought she was very sassy, so I loved her and I was eager to like learn more about her. So like those are kind of my first impressions. Obviously, we didn't get really to Khan until much later. He was more just kind of like there. So yeah.
Yeah. I will say when we first started it, I was like, I honestly really just liked it from the beginning. Although I will say I did think it was going to be a different book than what it was because like, well, first the prologue I liked, but I was confused even by that about like all the gods and the, like that took me a bit to like figure out like, oh, like you have special abilities if you can hear all 4 gods or like whatever it is or something. But yeah, I thought in the first couple chapters, because it's like her at like that, not that bar or like singing or something, with that one girl, and like then that she sees like that guy from across the crowd that tries to like get her, and I don't know, I guess I thought it was going to be like a not necessarily a quest, but I guess something more like more with her assassin journey, and then it segued away from that after a couple chapters. But I was really intrigued. I really liked it from the beginning, and that first day that we read, I really just was loving it. So I figured I was going to love the rest of the book. But
I will say that I struggled until I got the audiobook. I needed to like really just kind of get in. That sounds weird. But yeah, like once I got the audio, like I felt like it all connected for me and I was able to get more of the tone of the book and things like that. And then I got into the groove. But yeah, I am bummed that the assassin thing was really just kind of like a stepping stone from one thing to the next. It really wasn't necessarily important. It was just what she was doing with her life and what happened with, her friend, the kind of where the rest of the plot comes in.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but it was sad at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I only semi still kind of understand the whole like dragons and the moons and like I like it pretty. I feel like I have a good idea of it, but not 100% because it was just that was a lot. I don't know. I feel like I just read it and I was like, but also it's like really fascinating. Like I had never read anything like that before, so like I feel like this world was very unique. Like I had not read anything like it, honestly.
Well, what's funny too is the trope that I'm not going to say because it is a spoiler. The trope that Cassidy doesn't like, it's one of my favorite tropes actually. So like as soon as I realized that's where we were going to go, I was like, I am so in. I'm so in.
Well, I had no idea. Hold on, let me make sure she doesn't have anything in her mouth. Did you eat anything? No. Okay. I didn't have any idea that was the trope she was talking about. And then as soon as we were like getting to like that realization, I went, oh, I live for this trope. Like when I find that trope out, I'm just always like mystified and baffled because I never see it coming ever. And I mean, I saw this one a little, but that was only because they set it up so well for me to figure it out. I wouldn't have known. But yeah, when she said that, I was like, oh yeah, this book is definitely for me then. I love books like that. I do. And we'll definitely say what the trope is when we get to spoilery section. Which honestly, I feel like we should just go to spoilers because there's really not a lot you can say.
I think it's a great segue. We should just probably read the comments from and then.
All right, let me see. Okay, I'm coming, Miss Man. I was unsure at first with the glossary, but I did the same as you, Rainey, and I just flipped back where I needed to. Rave the Assassin was badass. It was a lot darker than I was expecting it to be. It really was. Yeah. It was very good. Here, have a Lego. I loved the writing straight away in the world building. Yeah, the writing was really good. And yeah, if you don't vibe with it right away, then I wouldn't push through because it is very unique. Surrey Parker has an incredible imagination to have created all those creatures and the gods and the kingdoms.
And to remember it. I would create it and then be like, wait, I don't remember anything.
You can look at this book, fine. Yes, this book was best understood when listening and reading together. Yeah, I could not have tried. I didn't even try to read it with just audio. I was like, I'm waiting till the audiobook comes out on the 10th, and then I will read it.
And thank you for being the one who obviously knew about the audiobook, because I had no idea. So like you reminding everybody all the time was a lifesaver.
Oh yeah, no. As soon as I chose it, I went, wait, I need to see if there's an audiobook. And then I was like, oh, there is, but it's on May 10th. And I was like, it's fine. Our sprints to start are May 11th, so it's fine.
It all worked out so perfectly. It really did. We don't always plan it that way. It just worked out perfect.
Go get it. Go get it, ma'am. Oh, I already picked that one. I hardly ever used the glossary. I think I just got it. You go, Selena. You go. I liked all the little breadcrumbs scattered throughout. Yes. This book definitely felt like a high fantasy first book setup. Once I accepted this, I loved this book.
Yay.
I read it all with only my eyeballs.
MVP award right there.
The MVP.
1,000%. Yeah. All right.
All right,
Spoiler time.
we're going to go to spoilers. So let me put up a spoiler thing. This is like your last warning. If you have not read this book and you don't want to be spoiled for it, then say goodbye to us. And then if you are ready to jump on in, then we're just going to go into spoilers, because there's honestly not a lot you can say without spoilers, especially like with the first stuff that goes on. So 3, 2, 1, goodbye, friends. Okay. Well, where do we even start? I'm like, where's the whole Essie thing? That was fun, wasn't that? Yeah.
I think it's more like it would have been better. Not even better. How do you even say that? But like, I feel like it would have been better if she just found her and she was already dead. But to have to like be there and like watch her die and like, no, you can't do anything. Wow.
That, and I also just like, I liked Essie a lot, and I was just like, man, we were so short-lived with her. Like, she was in the book for like 50 pages, and they had that whole breakfast scene together before.
We should have known. We read enough books to know that you should never like anyone.
I know. That was so sad, though. That was really sad. I read that, and I went, you killed off Essie? Why? Oh, that made me really sad. That was like the first little like sad tab I put. I was like, goodbye, Essie.
Well, then she gets rid of the little thing too, knee.
Yeah, knee. That made me mad, because I was just like, obviously you got like, he's your little like, what is, he's not even a dragon, or is he a dragon? No, he's like a little. What do you?
I just picture it as like a little bird, but let's be honest, my brain doesn't always do the right things. You know what I mean?
I'm like, maybe he's a character in the book, and I can see.
I don't think so.
He should be a character because he's in the book. He's not a character. How dare they? That is just rude. Me is part of this. Okay, well, he's like our little bird creature. Anyway, yeah, that was. Didn't she like write back to like to me, like, because the person said like, I need your help, and then she said no, you don't, and sent it back to sender.
Yeah. But like, to be fair, Rave doesn't always make great decisions. Rave is somebody who I think is very emotionally led.
Yes.
And so she just reacts. She doesn't think things through.
Yes, and I know that's why Steph didn't like the book, because she liked it, but she didn't love it because she didn't get behind Rain and like her or Rave and her motivations and all that, which I totally get. But I'm also just a very emotion heavy person, so I was just like, I feel like this is my spirit person.
Not your serpent showing right there, Rain.
I know.
It's fine. We're moving past it.
She's just gonna let me like skip past this, but no.
I can't. Sorry. I thought it was so cute where I was like, if you were gonna make a mistake, honestly, that's the best mistake to make. But that's okay.
Well, I can see him right behind me. I mean, he's right there, so it just made sense that he had to be in the discussion.
Yeah, see, for me, did I think that Rave was like frustrating sometimes? Sure, but like keep in mind, like we know that like she has these memories and these things with him, but she doesn't really remember any of those things. And obviously, so like for us being like, stop leaving him, just be with him, stop it. But she obviously doesn't know anything about those things, so it makes sense. But I get why it would be frustrating to some people who are reading.
Yeah. OMG, that hurt so way bad to make me love a character and then rip her away. And then to take me shortly away after. I pictured a paper crane. Oh, okay. That's a good idea. And I needed to know more about Fallon. Yes. And the rebellion group just kind of fell off the radar. Yes. Those all disappeared, like, within the very beginning. Like, you don't ever hear Fallon again. And then, yeah, the rebellion thing, it's like, what was even that?
I mean, maybe it'll be just like a Easter egg that then gets into book 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe it goes into book 2 because of where we leave off, but I don't know.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that.
I know. I pictured it as paper origami. I would have liked it if we could have seen more with Essie, to see more of their bond before she was taken out. I think it would have hit harder for me then. I feel like yes, but I also feel like I kind of feel like there was just enough, because like you can tell that she was an important person to her, but I feel like if it wouldn't have made sense to have more just because of where we go after that. Like I feel like you would have had to have this book would have had to been like 100 pages more, honestly. And I mean, not that I would have opposed to that, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. I feel like it was enough, but I don't know. That's what I pictured. Nice. I really like that about her, though. Rave was just so raw and real. She went through shit and was just trying to protect herself. Hello, Laura.
We're currently in our spoiler section, Laura, just so you're aware.
Yes. We are in spoiler section. I feel like she was setting things up for book 2 all the way through. Sure. This is a duology. Do we know that?
Oh gosh, I hope not. I need more time than just 2 books with these characters in this world.
I can't imagine it's only 2, but who knows? Essie was the catalyst for the whole rest of the book. Yeah. So honestly, I feel like it was just set up, and so you just kind of you couldn't have a lot with her. So was the lark or the letter from the beginning that said "I need you"? Was it from Khan? What? That was never determined. I think some thought it was Khan, some thought it was Kaisari, some thought, I don't know if there was anyone else that it was thought about. I'm like, I think I thought it was from Kaisari. I don't know. Did you? I don't know.
I mean, not until the end we didn't really know anything about anything. So my guess would be that it's for Kazari just because of the fact of like where it goes.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think it's a trilogy.
Okay.
I think it was from Kaisari, or maybe more because it's called the Moonfall series. Oh,
I
nice.
mean, more the better, because like when you have a world this dense, let us sit there for a while. Like let us really have it fleshed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we have the whole Essie thing, and then I'm like, after that, things just kind of go crazy, right? Because she decides she's gonna like hunt down Rex Zaros, because that's the guy that killed her. Which I can't remember why he killed her. Do you?
I thought it was literally to lure her out, because wasn't she going to go after him, or she wanted to originally, and then I thought somebody told her not to.
Yes, because he was her next target, wasn't he?
I thought that she wanted that to be true, but I can't remember. Like I know he was brought up and she had mentioned like wanting to do something, but I thought the woman told her like no.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. Yes. That is what happened. So they have all that. I'm trying to find where my notes are.
Well, and then we have where the other happens, where if you're doing the audio, you realize that there is another point of view, because all of a sudden we have a new narrator. So trying to understand like what is the other, why is it important, things like that, because like all of a sudden it came out of nowhere and we were like, okay.
Oh yeah, that whole chapter though, the other, because that's pretty close after this. I was like that whole time. First off, the audiobook with the male and the female switch randomly. I was like even mid sentence, I was like, what is going on here? It took me for a loop. I think I had to listen to that chapter twice because I was like, what is going on here? And then we had all the thoughts like, oh, who is the other? Is it her? Like, what is going on here? Because I didn't actually know the first time we heard that. I really liked that chapter though, but like she bit a whole finger off. Like that was an intense moment. Like,
I assumed it was her. I just didn't know in what context. You know what I mean? Like how would that happen? But I assumed it was like a coping mechanism of like, when you just get to a certain point, you just kind of lose your mind. But I was not sure.
Yeah. No, I really, really enjoyed that part. I'm like, let me see. Hold on. I think somebody said something about it. Hold on. The handwriting didn't match the note she got from Khan inviting her to dance.
Oh, look at you guys. See, our little detectives.
Sleuth. No, that was okay. Lincoln, I'm on a chat. What do you need? Okay, Lincoln, I'm not talking to you about this. Not right now. Hold on. 30 seconds. 20 seconds.
No, that was determined to be from Kaisari, because at the end when she was captured, yes, that's what we think. But again, it's one of those things where I don't know if we can say it's confirmed, but I believe you.
Yeah. OMG, when she bit the finger off, it was gruesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the audio made that chapter harder than just reading it. Yeah. There. I was only reading physically the first time the other showed up, so it really confused me at the end when they showed back up. Why was it 2 different voices?
I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that.
I know, and so that's what I mean. Where I'm like, I wish I could confidently be like, oh yeah, because of this, and I'm just like, your guess is as good as mine, my friend.
Yeah, this is making me even more excited to get to read the book. Good.
It's a trip. It
It
sure
is.
is.
It's fabulous. When she was first getting stitched up, the healer had dragon vision, so I wondered if she could see the other inside, versus later the other healer could see her scars. Oh yeah, that is true. That's true, because she had all those scars, and that was questioning or questionable as well. Yeah. I'm like, let me see. What after that? I'm like, I feel like there's just so much to like get through with this book.
Well, yeah, because then she goes to the trial, right? She gets taken. She has
Yeah.
a trial, and then that's where she gets, well, where we meet Khan, essentially. We had met him in the beginning, but, like, where we actually get to know him.
Yeah, because he was that stranger across that, like,
Yeah,
away
with
from
the hood.
Yeah, with the hood.
And then this is when our theory started, though. It's because when he saw her, like, he kind of, like, had this moment, right? Where, like, he wasn't quite himself. Like, where he kind of freaked out seeing her face. And then I was like, okay, well, that's weird to do to somebody you just met.
Yeah.
And that's where the web started for me. So.
Yes. And then, and then that's when all of our theories started happening. Everyone was like, oh yeah, Rave is a host for the other. And then we started having all of those chapters of those diary entries for Elwyn with the moon phases. And I'm not going to lie, at first I was just like, I have no idea how this ties in. And then I can't even remember at which point, like what diary entry it was that I was like, oh snap, like this is actually like the trope. What was it? What do you call this trope? Same, like one person is another. Like what?
I would say it's like hidden identity or like amnesia kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
hidden identity / amnesia. Like as soon as the trope happened, it just reminded me of like what book? This is not that this book is anywhere near the same, but like They Never Learn because of just a specific thing in that. But it's just like when you think one person is one person and then they're not, and they're actually another person, and I really like that. Especially because I think it tied in really well in this instance. But
I don't mind it as long as there's enough information for me to be able to piece it together, right? Like I only dislike it when it comes out of nowhere and there was no breadcrumbs.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, but yeah, I really liked all of the diary entries. I'm trying to like make sure I didn't miss anything about this part. Oh yeah, and then there was all the diary entries talking about how she was like betrothed to someone, or she was supposed to be betrothed to Tyroth, or is that his name?
I just say the brother, one of the brothers, the brother with the T.
Yeah, she was supposed to be betrothed to the brother, but then she didn't want to be, or like there was that whole it was like she didn't want to be, right? And then I'm trying to remember exactly what. I feel like I read like parts of this so long ago, and then like the last 300 pages I read like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think the good news is we don't have to talk about every aspect of it.
Yeah.
I think just the big plot points, and then if there's anything somebody wants to talk about specifically, they're welcome to put it in the chat. Because let's be honest, we read a lot, so our memories are not the best.
Yeah.
But personally, I think the next big thing that happened, I mean, between Khan and Rave, it's probably when they had their moment in the cabin, and all of a sudden they went from 0 to 60.
Oh yes, that was so great though. I was like, because she just had this like unobtainable or unknowing, like didn't understand why she was so attracted to him. Like, which it's because they're kind of faded, but kind of not. Like,
I mean, it's just because basically what we didn't know at the time is it's like they already have this like drawing to each other. You know what I mean? Like they're already basically attuned to each other, right?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, and then of course all of us were like, why? What? And then it was just over, and it was like, oh, okay, all right.
I know, but wasn't that because she wanted to keep going, but she was like, it doesn't mean anything to me, and then if it doesn't mean anything to me, then we're not doing it. And I was like, oh, my man.
I know, it's because Khan is such a soft boy. I can't get over it. He's like so bad for her. I can't even he loves her so much.
Like, because he remembers everything and he knows who she is, and she like has no recollection. And he's like, but this is my love. It's very sad.
1,000%.
Yeah. He started freaking out. The queen of her kingdom had tears in her eyes at the execution. Forgotten identity. I was going to say amnesia, secret identity, secret heir. I put 2 and 2 together when they both mentioned the wonky moon. Yeah, I didn't get that. You are a detective. Once Hadeon and his dragon flew up into the sky, I put things together. Nice. Once I realized the diary entries were rave, I screamed. I did that a lot. Different things started clicking into place. Yeah, I know. I would like go into the Discord and be like, I think this is what happened. And then I would like see other people who read already, and I'm like, okay, I'm right. Ah!
And I mean, the Discord, you guys did an amazing job because the Discord was popping off all the time. I sometimes had to be like, I'm just going to wait till I finish the pages and then go through because I was like, there's so much to read.
I would try to go through and be like, okay, I can read this spoiler, but I can't read this spoiler. And then I was like, nope, I'm going to read all 10 chapters. And then I'm going to go back and read everything and put my own comments because it's just too chaotic, which was great.
Or I'd go to say something and then I'd see that somebody else already said, and I'm like, man.
Yeah, almost every time I was going to say something like, that was already said. That was already said. I'm like, well, at least we all think the same things. I felt the queen did recognize her, and I'm wondering if that comes into play in the next book because she had to tell someone. Yeah, possibly. When he turned her down because it wouldn't mean anything to him. I fell for him instantly. We all.
Absolutely.
I have never respected a man so much as in that moment. Yeah, that was pretty great. I'm like, yeah, so we have that. They went from 0 to 100. I'm like, oh, then we had, what was it? She like escaped and she went to that place where they were going to make her battle. And like, wasn't it to battle to be engaged to someone?
It was literally to become like, she would be with somebody then and then have to bear lots of children. That was her gift because her kids. So like, and this is the crazy part that I didn't even think about now because technically she has a child, but her kids are supposed to do something of importance. I just don't remember what it is, right? But yeah, so they essentially were going to have her just, pop out babies. And here's the thing. Did I love going to this place? No. It was very confusing for me. I didn't fully understand it, right? But I do love when he shows up to save her essentially, and then he like bows to her and like has her become more important than him. I thought that was like, I mean, Khan never fails to make every moment wonderful.
Yeah, that was great. But that whole scene, I was like, what is going on? I'm like, why is she? That took me a minute as well. But yeah, I just love that whole thing. And so yeah, then she, what is it? Oh yeah, and then she gets to see their home that they used to live in, which I was like, oh, this is so cute. And the whole dance with me and just the whole that was very cute. And how he was like, I'm just gonna let her go because she said she was gonna like erase everything, which I was just like, why would you do that?
Again, poor choices because how could you? What? No, listen. Whatever moment I have in life left, I want to spend with that man. That's it.
I know, but thank goodness she came to her senses because she, stays in the house and then like she's just like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe there's a reason that I'm here, which I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing, ma'am. I don't understand you. Her kids are supposed to help keep the moons in the sky, whatever that means.
Fair.
Whatever that means. She was the prophecy, and she would have bound the moons in the sky or something. Totally came out of left field, but it brought Khan back to the story, so I wasn't even mad about it. I mean, that's true. Wondering if the fate herder will come back.
Let's hope so.
Oh yeah. No, you know who I also liked? What is it? The psychic, is it called like the moon rift or the moon waft or the, do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but it's okay.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm almost done. What's up?
Oh, a moon weft? I'm gonna have to wait for Rainy because I don't know what that means.
I do. I'm like, chaos is going on all around.
No, you're fine. It always happens that way. You're good.
Yeah, no, the moon weft. Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I can't even remember exactly. It was like she was just like saying things like predicting the future, and I just and it was revealing stuff about her being Elowen and Rave at the same time, and I just remember really liking that part.
Oh, my bad. My memory, guys. I'm proud of myself just with how much I've remembered without the book being in front of me. So props to me for that. But like, I knew there'd be a moment that I was like, eh.
No, yeah, props to you. I'm like, what other big things? I mean, there were a lot of big things. Oh, and then there was where you find out that he's been collecting her dragon. That was very, and how the dragon protected her, like they both fell out of the sky. Yeah,
I just literally would give my whole life to this. I just, when I say that Khan, like, don't get me wrong, Rave is wonderful. She brings a great, like, interesting snarkiness to the book, but like the way Khan just makes you fall in love with everything. Without him, this book would have been like meh.
Yeah. No, I really like that. But yeah, that whole scene, I was like, oh, he's been collecting all the pieces of her dragon. And then it took me a minute to kind of understand what happened. That like how did she? I guess I can't remember. Do you remember how did she end up not remembering everything? Was she just sent out of the sky with the dragon, and the dragon like shielded and protected her? But then she came back as a like. I feel like I'm forgetting it.
I don't know how she technically lost her memory, right? Because obviously everything went to chaos when she got pregnant, and then the king knew and was using that against her and all this stuff. So she would fulfill her like duties to Brother T. And then because she had to protect everyone, you know what I mean? Like, especially because also his sister was in danger too, because he, like the king said he would like literally just kill Khan's sister. And all that. So like she had a lot of responsibility. So I don't fully remember. I do remember she went with her dragon, and then he also threatened her dragon. Man, there was just no love.
There was no love. But I also really liked how she found that other dragon towards the end, and she was like, "You're gonna be my pal," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Like that little dragon needs a friend. So I really really liked that. And and then she finally gets to attack Rexaros. Oh, and that perspective, I was not expecting that whole chapter of him.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for that. But I really liked Vea's chapters. Yeah, which that's his sister, right?
Yes.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I know, and I loved how she like recognized her, and she's like, Elowen, and she goes,
who?
Oh, or who? And she's like, I was like sad. I was like, oh, but you guys had a relationship. Like, you don't even know.
Well, and what's crazy is Rave recognized her. She said her name before even knowing that was her name.
She did. Yeah.
So like, it was interesting. But our comments are also popping off.
I know. Let me get to that. Hold on. Where was that? Oh, there I am. The quote when he says, "Chase death, Moonbeam, and I pray your bloodlust brings you the same sense of peace I felt just knowing you exist." Yeah. Pretty great. Oh, I bawled my eyes out during that quote in chapter. I need to know more about the hidden runes on her body that only people with a dragon sight can see, and dragon fire makes them visible. We were thinking it's what binds the other to her. Oh, okay.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I really loved all the fantastical creatures she created. I really loved the velvet trog. Yes, I do remember that. I was wondering what was going to go on with that, because she got a crown from it, right? It was like the crown, wasn't it like, didn't it have something that she had when she was little, the necklace, right?
I want to say yes, but my brain says,
Yeah, because I remember the trog was like, oh yeah, I'll only trade it with you if you give me something else, and she traded something.
Oh, right.
And then she was like, oh yeah, do you kill people you trade with? And she says, no, I've only traded with like 6 people ever, and you're one of them or something. And I was like, oh, that character was very interesting. Almost every favorite quote was from Khan being 1,000% devoted to this woman.
1,000%.
I was assuming she lost her memory when she died. I'm probably right. The velvet trog gave me nightmares. I wanted to pet its velvet goat. She was dying when she was pregnant / having the baby, and somehow Slotra flew her up into the sky, and I'm sure we'll get more of her backstory of what happened to her. I would love a Slotra comeback moment. That chapter gave me such the ick. I loved Vea's chapters. I think part of the dragon is in her, and that's what kept her alive. That's why he can't find all of the shards.
That's a good theory.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm just popping in to say hello. Hi, Danny. And I'm popping right back out because I do plan on reading this eventually. Have a good day. You should. I think you will really like it. The bracelet. Oh, okay. I'm slightly curious who Rex's father is, because to me it sounds like he's a powerful guy, but I also hate him, so I don't actually.
Valid.
I wonder if they had to bring the other to her to bring her back to life.
Very possible. I mean, there has to be something, because it's not like she just woke from the grave.
Yeah. That let her change her appearance, but they alluded to it having another power. Yes. I 100% think the other is Slotra. I do too, because of those last couple of chapters with there was one specific thing that was said that I was like, oh, I think the other is actually her dragon. Or her dragon, like in part of the dragon is in her. I felt like that was Slotra. Yeah. But one other the other big things is really just the end, right? I'm just like,
I mean, it's so funny because I definitely did not see that coming. I just didn't see it coming.
What, the other?
No, I didn't see what is their name? Kaizari?
Oh,
right?
yes.
I didn't see that coming.
that was the thing. When someone said the Kaisari thing, that was where I went, who the hell is Kaisari? And then I had to go back and be like, because like, when do we meet her?
She was in the beginning, in the first con chapter.
Okay. That's who was she in the first con chapter though? Because who does he think Kaisari is to him?
His niece. He thinks that it's Elowen and his brother T's daughter. He doesn't think it's his daughter. He has no idea. Nobody knew except for the king. Probably, I think brother T didn't even know, and then obviously Elowen knew. But yeah, nobody else knew. Like that's why Vera just found out in her last chapter when she got the diary entry.
Oh yeah, because she found her diary entry.
Yeah.
No, I was really surprised when they said that, and they were like, "It's Kaisari," and I was like, "Oh, the pieces put together." I was like, "That was crazy." I think it's the dragon soul. I also think that when she was the other, she said that she liked to eat flesh, but wouldn't because Rave didn't like it. Yes, I do remember that, and that was where I was like, "Interesting." I picked that out so early. You go, Selena. The Scavenger King is another brother. Oh yeah, we have to talk about that. That whole epilogue. I was like, that was a lot going on in this chapter. There's a lot going on. But yeah, which I really liked. I was like, when it said the Scavenger King, I was like, who the hell is that? I think I read that chapter twice because I was a little confused. I'm not gonna lie, I still might be kind of confused because I feel like we got so much information in that chapter. Oh, and then what's a fire lark? There was like they kept talking.
They mentioned it, but I don't feel like we know what it is, and I don't think it's in the glossary, right?
I don't think so, unless I missed it. Hold on, let me just take a quick little check. If someone knows, they want to pop it in the chat.
I'm gonna pull up my Kindle book, so I'm doing my best, guys.
I'm like, no, I don't think. I don't think it's in here. Okay, you cannot have that. They have a parchment lark. They have a parchment lark.
Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to know yet. I just think we're supposed to know like it's important, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Isn't she the one in love with the voice in her head? Who, Rave? Khan said...
Oh, wait. Are we talking about Kaisari?
Oh, yes.
I remember reading that and being like, girl, what?
Yes. Khan said Slatra breathes life into Rave/Elowen, and Rave can use all 4 powers, but she has a fear of fire from staying with that guy at the end who's like the brother of Khan and the other 2. Hold on 1 second.
You're good. I'm looking to see if I can find Fire Lark.
Understand why you never like superhero.
Lincoln, I'm not talking to you about superhero kings. I'll be after 2 minutes. Okay, let's keep going. Nope, goodbye. Yeah. He has Kaisari prisoner, and he was the one who had Raven Fallon prisoner.
Yeah, the Scavenger King. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking the other is a way to protect Rave from the torture she went through. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. As soon as I mentioned Kaisari had the Ether Stone early on, I knew she had to be descended from Elowen. Fire Mark is what he called Rave when she was his prisoner and he was burning her. Oh! Okay. See, Sarah comes in clutch. I think they called her Firelark because she's the only one to survive his torture pits.
Oh, that makes sense. We're going to find out, I'm sure. Because, like, for anybody who doesn't know, Rainy and I do know that next fall, I think Rainy said October of 2025, book 2 will come out. So
just
clear your calendars. We will be reading it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm like, that's all the really major things. And then, we just ended a cliffhanger and Kaisari is in prison, right?
When I saw Nee show up, I died. I was like, thank God.
I was like, oh, yay, Nee's back. I knew they were going to return because I knew that Nee had to have come from someone of importance. Hey, chill. We're about to be done, ma'am. We already have our book club pick for that month. There you go. Right? But yeah, I guess we should say, do we have any final like thoughts / opinions / like things to share about the book?
Yep, now's your time, guys. If you have anything else, I have definitely talked enough. But any closing thoughts, let us know.
I'm like, I could talk more, but I'm honestly like, I feel like we said so much, and there's just like so much that like I still need to honestly unpack even within this book. Yeah, it's just a lot. Thanks for picking a great first book. I'm glad we all liked it because I picked a chunky book. I did, but I wanted to read it, and I figured if I was going to read it, I was going to make you all read it with me.
Honestly, it was good. It was good. I'm happy.
Good first pick. How to join the book club. Oh, we have a Discord, which I'm pretty sure I put it underneath this description already.
Yeah.
You should be able to click it and join, but it should be underneath all of our videos too, because I have it underneath most of mine now. But yeah, you can just join in the Discord, and it'll send you to join us for the books and whatnot.
Yeah, so it should just be here in the description of this video. You should be able to find it.
I had a fangirl moment when the author reposted my Instagram post on her story. That's exciting. This was a great first pick. I never wanted to reread a 700-page book immediately after finishing it. Oh, yay. Oh, wait. Oops. I was thinking Kaisari wrote it to her mother wanting to talk to her, and Rave, who is Elowen, receives the lark and doesn't remember / know who it's from. That's what I was thinking, kind of. So basically, so when I realized that. Yeah, I think we all did. It was very, very sad. If I cry at books, I would have cried at this book, but I don't cry at books. But I'm sure I would have otherwise. But yeah, Kate, so I guess we should let y'all know that next month, this is our book.
Air, Sun, and Moon.
Which I'm very excited because I didn't know about this book until Katie told me about it.
Yeah, I was very excited. So I'm sure most of you guys know because most of you are in our book club already. But yes, we're doing Air, Sun, and Moon, which here in the United States, it is on KU. Otherwise, all the information is in the Discord. I'm putting up all the channels for the chapter breakdowns. There will be a channel for Janessa questions because Janessa will be joining us on June 30th at the same time. So at the 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. And she's very excited. So it's going to be super interesting. We will kind of have the same format where I think what we'll do is we'll have maybe the first 45 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe be us chatting. And then we'll have her come on. We'll see. Maybe we'll have her come on first. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so that's about it for this book. But if you have any questions, Rainy and I are all over social media. So just message us. We are very chill people.
I know you said this is like a Rapunzel retelling, Bodyguard, like all the stuff.
Yeah, so we're following two different storylines essentially that connect because we're following two different main characters. There is Rhea and then there's also Bahira. So they're both princesses, but they're in different parts of the kingdom. I think they're in, different kingdoms essentially. So we're going to figure out how these storylines connect and all that stuff. So I think there's even 2 romances, but we're going to find out. I like going into books blind. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, for sure. I cried. You all saw. Does someone want to give me a copy, even though I already have a copy, so I can use it for Tara and therefore read it right now?
I'm sorry. I'm reading it for a sightseeing prompt for the retelling, but there's also 5 words in the title.
That's what I'm using it for.
Yeah. But also you can also say I think it's her debut book, so you could also use it as a debut. So we could help you figure that out.
Oh, would be fun if that chat could be on Zoom. Oh, so everyone could ask questions.
It's something we can talk about. I think reality-wise is Zoom gets overwhelming because some people don't know how to mute, and it's just about like containing the chaos a little bit. So like you can all still chat. The chat is still going to be here just like in normal format. It just helps it so it's a little less chaotic for Janessa, if that makes sense. So all questions that you really want to make sure get asked, just make sure you put it in the Discord and we will make sure we get to it. Especially because I told Janessa that I would send her some of the questions ahead of time. So that way she can let us know what she's comfortable with and she can kind of feel like things aren't sprung on her. But then you guys will be able to use the full chat here as well.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm glad that everyone had a great time with this book and that you joined us for our first live discussion. I hope you all join us for Katie's pick. And then you should all, if you're in the Discord, go look at either putting book suggestions into the suggestion channel, because pretty soon we're just going to take some of them and put them into a poll and vote for July. And then I already know what I picked for August, so you'll find that out soon. Because I just knew immediately what I wanted to read.
Yeah, so our format going forward is going to be, so July, how we're going to do it is, so Rainy picked one, I picked one, and then you guys will pick one, and we're going to just keep rotating. So Rainy, me, you. So yeah.
So yeah, that'll be our little thing. But thanks for coming, guys. We're glad we had you. And I will be back at like 5 for some sprints, for some evening sprints, so we can sprint it up. But I gotta take care of her and put some groceries away and things right now. So we will see you all in the Discord very, very soon. All right. Bye, friends.